Welcome back to Shapez 2. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with another episode of our Let's Play and tutorial series, and our focus is on making cool designs. I've been thinking about two things that I want to do today, but I think that it's a little bit overambitious. We have our milestone, we just unlocked color mixing, and we've also completed all of the tasks that do not require any of the fancy secondary colors or tertiary color. So that seems to be more urgent. What I'd also like to do is upgrade from 2 levels to 3 levels, but I can't do those at the same time. Also, platform limits, it's going to be taking a hell of a lot of extra platform units to platform limits to upgrade from 2 to 3 levels, because every single mining location out here will have to be basically 50% more in here. So that's something we're going to be doing today. Is we're going to be saving up points by completing 1, 2, 3 glorious milestones, ignoring pin tasks, not the milestones. We're going to use our design here that we have prepared. There are 3 locations, so we can see if we can sort of go through it in record time. And there's basically I really wanted to sort of go like this is level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because then it gets closer and then it can get in. And I like that better. But I'm not sure that's the right way, because here I tried it the other way around, where I put it further away. That means the travel time is a little bit longer. But on the other hand, the one that is closest is most easily able to be supported, and therefore it's easier to keep this one full of juicy good stuff. Anyway, let's dive in and see. What the first thing we want to do is make a yellow thing. So we are going to have to do some design work for how do we make yellow. What does that mean? What does the color mixer do? So we'll switch over to this overlay and then look at this color mixer. It's going to be red and green. Yes. So if it's going to be red and green for the yellow, then we might as well do it up here so that we can actually do that. And I want this to be able to come in from both sides. So these ones, now it gets a little bit complicated. This takes 375 of each of the colors and gets 750 out. In order for us to understand anything here, then everything will be constrained when it comes to liquids, not by the pipes, because the pipes can carry a lot, like that's a weird number, but they can carry the launchers here, which also means that the speed you can get in and out, the maximum speed you can get in and out here, is 4 launchers on every level. So 150, which is also just happens to be, if we look at our roller here, if we say we have 4 of these, that means because it needs 4 of these to satisfy a full belt. Then what we're seeing here is that we need 4 of these. That means we need 1500. So 1 launcher can support 1 belt of coloring. So let's just kind of keep those in mind. That means that we'll actually get half a belt of each, or basically half in from each color, in order to get a full belt out. Or we could say we get 1 in of this and then we get 2 out. But since I can't throw it out fast enough, then that's not really a thing. So we're going to do this, and I'm going to design it for 2 levels, but it'll be working for 3 levels, because actually I don't want to design for top level just yet. I want to design it on a singular level, because this seems to be pretty simple, right? So what if we build it right here in the middle to start with, because that means this is 1 belt, this is 2 belts, and I'm saying belts because this is equivalent of belts. And let's do here. Right? So this is actually all it needs. So for me, this seems pretty obvious that this can be done in a single lane here. So get this in here and get it out. And I'm going to do that. We definitely want to have all of these merged together as soon as they get in. That is very essential. Then we are going to get somehow, what if we just get it like this? And since we're flipping them, we can also go in here like that. Maybe that's better. Yes, I think so. Okay. And then I'm going to be rotating this also, flipping it on the other side, because I want it to be able to come in from both sides, so I don't have to rotate it or think about the inside, which side it comes in. So that means they also need to be connected. Otherwise it doesn't work. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There, so now it's connected, and you can see this is easily able to, whatever can come in here can easily be spread over. So there's no bottleneck of fluid transfer here. But we do need to have some kind of jump ability here, and that's going to be the red one will be responsible for, well, the jumping, I guess. So we'll go out here and into that location, jump in, jump over, and then in these spaces we can then get this and this. Seems pretty good. Copy, flip, and get that in here. There. And I don't think I need anything else up on this side, because on this side yeah, these are all connected. I don't know why this needs to be connected though. I don't know why it doesn't need to be connected. Yeah, but this is like the flow is easily able to handle. This one can handle 1500, and remember each of these takes 375, so 375, 375, that's 700, 750, and then another 750 up here. That means this can exactly support all of these, only just barely, but hey, if it's at ratio, it's at ratio. So this is a very simple design, and bring it one level up. Then we're going to be merging these levels together because that's important. I'm going to do that here, because I want 4 liquids, all of my levels to be merged together. There. I don't think I need it. I don't need it on both sides because I'm going to leave that for connections when we get to 3rd level. There we go. And that is now our design for a coloring. So that one is the one we're going to be using, and we just add it to the blueprint. And as usual, these blueprints are of course available to Patreon supporters, but hey, we also build it here, so you can just do the same build. So now we just need to get this one going. I think that we've now kind of decided. I'm still not sure which one I like. I think I actually like this one here where the train is coming over. So we'll cut this out and put it on this one. Yes. So what is it? It is 3. No, it's 2 diagonals. Okay, 2 diagonals. That's here, and that is on a, let's see, circle and a wedge. Okay, and then one of them is missed by 1. So like that, and then stacks. And there we go. And then it just needs the beautiful new color. And that goes here. And then it... Why did this train go 1 level down? That's silly. Oops. Yeah. And... Whoa. Oh, because this is not the right one. It is to go here. Because I have now the color mixer and then my actual paint. That's why. There. And that works. And you are going to be merging in. Great. So that is the first shape. Do we think that it works? It gets it on yellow and it has the right shape. Great. Let's look at the next one. The next one is over here. And I'm going to be preparing it. That is, again, we're going to be cutting a wedge out from... That's the wedge now. And then the other ones are going to be a little bit different. That's here and here. And then it's also a square. And then I need to rotate it like that. And then we just basically need to see if they're turned the right way. That is turned the right way. This one is turned the right way. And you just need to rotate by half. And then they all need to be merged together. Like that, that. So although this system uses more belts than you technically need, you can also see that how incredibly quick this is to build. There, which is the strength of this build. And that's green up here. And this train goes closer. Like that. And all we need is that one. That's the second one. And then we go up here. And then we're going to make the third one. Let me see. Do I have the train still in my buffer? Yes, I do. So let's get that here. That cannot be yellow because then it's going to go out in the same belt. So this should be a different color train. We also have 120 points, which is insane. Let's do a white one. You can also do like more train speed. Yeah, more train speed. Also be a little bit careful to retain some of these because I do need this. I also want belt speed, but I want everything, right? You are then going to be turned a white train. Yes, indeed. There we go. All right, and this is just... Now I have to build it upside down, which of course is going to be like a massive difference for me. And it's going to be a diagonal cut for these two. They are squares are correct and circles are incorrect. So circles get the luxury of being rotated a little bit. There we go. And then it needs to color it. That color is red. And it's here. And we take our beautiful new train. That one. And it goes in. And it goes in at exactly the same place. Sweet. The funny thing is, the yellow one isn't even working yet. Is that because it's still just building? Or has it left? Oh, it's coming back now. I wonder if that coming back here was after unloading the first load, or if it's... Yeah, okay, so it is unloading the first load, but this is also shared with some other ones, so that is how it is. Okay, so I have an idea for a change here, because I actually want to get this in here. Let's go with this one, so we can get this even closer, like this. Ew, that's gonna be blocking that one. So maybe I need to rotate it like this, so they can actually both go under. So what I want is, like, I want one of them to go into the first, the second, and the third. That means I need to unlock filler stations. I'm pretty sure filler stations was something. Yeah, filler stations, not an expensive one. So we do need to make some filler stations here, and then make sure that they actually use those fillers. So this one I've been cutting out, and this will be, well, let's not have this one be level 1. So we can have you being level 1, which means the ones that's closest. Then you can be level 2. That is where I just want to see if you're... What? How did you not... yeah, this is the problem. They are overloaded. So whatever. We'll just do this part here. And then I'm going to cut this one out and say you are going to have a filler station, a filler one here. And then you're going to have the right one, which means that it then fits. The filler station will be here, and then it'll be unloaded. That's loaded correctly. You can see how many we have. They will not be loaded the same place. They will be go out here. And this one will also go out here. And then, oh, I was pressing pause. That's not what I want. The blue one will obviously still go in here. Then here I am going to get both the white down there. Oof, that was close. And the yellow down there. So that loads in the second position. And this loaded in the first position. And then I need the last one here to be loading in the third position. So I'm going to cut this out. And then go like this. And then I have a station. This one is going to be there. And that's going to be like 2 filler stations, and 1 correct station. Oof, that's getting close. That's getting close to this. And then let's see if that one comes in, picks up this, and then goes in. And then I need to make sure, yes, the teals go out here. So that is looking at, now they get a separate one each, so that these can be dedicated to their own. So you can see this is way overflowing here, and obviously won't be able to keep up. But if they now have their own unload location, it's going to be better. It's a little bit weird, this shape here, but it seems to work. And you can see here how well it works. And we get the yellow train in. Well, not the yellow train, the teal train. Actually, I really want the white train to not be white, because it would be better to use these 3 secondary color, and then you reserve the white one for something else. I guess I'm gonna have to wait until you get unloaded and do it. But still, there's a little bit of waiting time, but this is a better way to make sure that we can unload things in parallel. I really missed an opportunity by making this traffic light colored, or having the traffic lights sort of organized correctly. We got the first one, we got the green one done, and the yellow one is coming in, and then we can go back out to the yellow, and by the time we're done with the green and yellow, they will definitely have unlocked the last one as well. So what do we do? We do a teal one, no, a magenta one on top of, so it's the same shape. So I can just do, well, same shape here, and that is over here. And that's going to be now another color. Magenta is, actually, let's make it closer. That one, I hope. And it goes up like that. And it goes up here. So the only thing that's missing is that we need this train to go a little bit higher up, so that we can actually merge level 2 in on level 1, which is done like that. And let's have a look. Yes, it does turn magenta. There, turn magenta, and that's what we want. So that's the first one. The interesting thing that we go over to the green. The green is, it's the same green shape. There we go. We got the last here. It's the same green shape, but then we need a full colored, magenta colored one on top. So again, that should be easy. That's a color mixer there. And it's just going to be a full shape. So I'm going to just leave it just for good measure. I'm going to leave one space in between. And that's going to be a coloring block and go in. And then it goes on top here. And I need to take this train out. Move it 2 tiles up so that there's room for merging it in. Now I feel, did I forget that one on the other one? I might have. There. And this gets us, oh, we do not have the blue colors coming in. So that should be magenta wedge shape on top. There we go. And everything else seems good. Let me just check. Yes, I did have a feeling that I'd forgotten that one. Oh, I also, the train is also on the wrong level. Right, okay, lots of stuff wrong, but now it works. Yes, and the first shapes are coming in here, and they look like the right shapes for the yellow. And then we go over to the red and white one. So we have the red stays the same. We can start by doing this part here, and then move it two tiles forward. Because we are going to be starting with getting something inbound here. And then we're going to be building on the second floor. That's going to be exactly the same shape. So let's take that, and it needs to be colored. But here we get the... Oh, is that... Go up here. Copy. Here. Okay, so it is the right level. This then it needs to be made... Oh, why is there no green here? Wow. Well, I guess I have to figure that out. Huh, I think I know why. Here it is. So when I copied this, I simply did not copy everything. So here, I simply forgot to do that. And I also can see that we have another issue as well. There. So the green is now coming into these lanes. I also could see the other problem here, that we're simply not getting wedges in on this one. So I didn't actually complete it. And also I didn't get the lower level here. So that's, again, kind of disastrous there. So this one is probably not going to work very well for the time being. But let's get some wedges in here as well. We just need to find them out here somewhere. Luckily, we don't need the wedge shape for this one, but we do need to get the white shape. And the way that you make the white shape is surprisingly simple. It is actually just do a color mixer, and then you just mix all colors. So first we bring half a box of these, and then we do another half box or half throughput here, and then that actually turns in. We're getting the first little bit of greens in here, but that you can see it gets used pretty quickly. So basically what we do is, as long as you mix 2 primary colors and then mix the 3rd primary color on top, then you get white. It doesn't matter which sequence you do. So this is a way to say, this is actually the worst way I did it, because right now I'm using more greens than I'm using the other colors. So if I wanted to do this, I'm now using more red because there's a half red plus a half cyan, no, teal. So, and then the half teal that I use is coming from a quarter blue and a quarter green, and I really don't want to use so much green because someone was lacking on the green. So this one should work. Let's get the teal out here. The teal is blobbing in. Please blob. There we go, blobbing. And the mixing, teal plus red somehow becomes white, and we're happy. So that gets us the white outbound, and come on, just a little blob here on the belt. There we go. The first little bit, go in, get this one painted, and then it goes over and merges in. The other ones are a little bit ahead, but that doesn't matter. Onwards to the next step. We have completed these 2, and we're going to be happy and another happy. So let's go over to start the one with the yellow as the bottom layer. Wow, that's a beautiful one. The yellow one as the bottom layer. What are we going to do here? We are going to be simply taking the same shapes as before. We just confirmed that those are indeed the same shapes. Yes, the same shapes. But now we need a teal circle on top. That should not be too difficult, right? So we have a circle here. Oh, that can't be placed this close. There, that one. And then it's a teal one, so that means we need a color mixer down here, and that's going to be green and blue. That's going to be a pipe, and that goes sweet up here. Then this needs to be taken out because you need another stacker on top. Really, I should be preparing this, which means you are going to go there, and that just gets the circle colored teal, and then stacked on top, stacked on top. Great. And the next one, that's the one to start with, the green one. That's down here. We can do press O and I, then we just delete this level here. We're going to be putting something else on top. The rest is fine. Everything else is fine. We just put something on top. And that's going to be here. That one. And what is it we put on top? That is a yellow star. Okay, so that's a yellow one. We just need to color. We'll color it here so it doesn't get too close. And then we do the coloring down here. The yellow was, what was it? Green and red. Yeah. And actually then we could just do this just for a change, because you're going to go straight in. And you can then go straight in here. Yellow on top. Yellow star on top of the purple wedge on top of the green something. Green leaf. I think it's a green leaf. And then it's good practice to just delete everything else in before, so that we don't get too much mixed up here. This is then the last one that is not quite done, but we know we can see how much is in there, so we know that it's already in there, and should not be a problem. Anyway, we can start deleting this and get ready on the next level for perfect timing. And go. Perfect. Done. And then we just need a magenta circle on top. Again, not the most complicated things, but if we were supposed to go out and find somewhere where we had a circle nearby that could... Whoa. Right. Okay, so that's because it was... let's do that one. There. And there, the coloring. Here it's here. And then that needs to go in to another location. That's where it stacks on top and go back out. And that should be the next one. You can also see that this is starting to work. And the reason why is because I thought, you know what, I'm just sitting here waiting. So why not just make these simple ones, this little Among Us here, and then the partial star here. So we're making those. They're not really doing much. Oh, they're particularly not doing much because I put a liquid station in instead of a solid station. So that's why there. Now they're going to be happy and they're going to get in. Great. So they will get in here. The reason why I'm doing it like this is we can also do the coloring here. That's also fine. But the last step here is something we need to build separately because it's a little weird shape. So I'm going to build this because this is also the perpetual one. So the temporary ones, we might as well get those out of the way. Another 3 are completed. Unlock, unlock, and unlock. We're just raking in the points here, platform points and research points. So now the last part here for each of those will be slightly different because if we look at, well, we'll start with the first one. Let's start with this one out here. So this is the one that starts with a yellow circle, and this is no longer a yellow shape. So first of all, are the shapes the same? With the combined thing here, let's see, except that actually there's a third level before the teal one. So the teal one just goes 1 up, and then the 2 top levels here go 1 up, and then there's another one. Okay, so that's the 2 top ones here. That's this part here. I'm actually just gonna cut it there, and then basically say it was here, and then it's gonna go over there. Great, because that's kind of the easiest. Then I am going to say, I'm gonna get the same shape here. That goes, oh, you could have just left it there then. That is gonna be the third one, which is the uncolored one, and then the first one has to be turned white. So let's kill this. Yeah, and that one. Just remove all the colors, remove all the colors, and all that stuff that's in here. Good. Okay, and you will need something to come on top of it, and then I have no idea if I did all of it correctly because I made it a little bit too fast. So let's walk through it from the top down. First we get a teal circle, yes. Then we get a this shape, and that's magenta. The circle wedge, the circle wedge combined. Yep, and then the third level we get the same shape, the circle wedge, but it's uncolored. Well, third from the top, so the second layer. And the first layer is then gonna have to be white instead of the same, but it's still the same shape as before. And we'll see the same we got here, and this one turns white when the color comes in. Good, and then I actually think that works. All right, that was one. The next one, let's have a look at this. This looks like it's only, no, it is 4 layers. Okay, so we do have another shape on top. So the green, the purple, the yellow is the same, but then we have a white something on top. Yeah, okay, so that just means that we need one more thing on top. Then we can take all of this out. And then all of this here, we press O and then I, because then it deletes everything inside that. There you go. And that should allow it to start over. There, still some residuals here. That disappears. Good. So now nothing comes in. The yellow one, and then the top one is split half by half. The wedge and the circle. So that is easy here. That's the wedge, that's the circle, and then we just need to figure out which one has to go where. This one rotates clockwise, this one rotates counterclockwise. So that's clockwise and counterclockwise. Then we merge them back on a line. Then we get a color. And that color is white. Okay, which means, oh, over here, we actually need to do some color mixing. That one. And that got the color mixed. And then it goes over and merges in on the top level. That's the second one. The third one, what is this one doing comparatively? It's the same shape, we just have a yellow wedge circle thing on top. So up here, we can delete these two because that's going to be the next step, is getting something in. So select all and delete. That should clear out some stuff in the future. And then we have this shape that we made a million times, but we'll make it one more time, and that's going to be cutting. That's the circle and the wedge, and then which one is correct? Correct. That is, the wedge is correct. Yes, so the circle rotates. Yeah, and get it inbound, and then also we have a color. And then we ask ourselves what color that is. The yellow color. Okay, so that is... Was that a coloring? Yes, that was coloring. Now we need a color mixer. There. That's the color mixer. And goes in. And I think that works. Here we are. We've completed the next 3 milestones. They just went ahead, and there we go, and I got a monstrous amount of points. That's excellent. What we're going to use the points for, we're going to be using them for in the next time to unlock the tier 3, which is going to be using a lot of platform points. So we're going to take a lot of our platform points out, which of course is not a problem, since we can take all of this out and all of this out. We can take that out. Also, last thing, we have this little imposter among us is getting built. It's slowly getting built, and it'll just chug along. It needs 45,000, so that'll just be sort of chugging along while we complete the next mission. And the next mission will be, of course, just taking some of the next ones here, but trying to get them. We can only get 3 more, actually. Okay, no, 4. We can get 4 more, but we can try to get those. But let's try to do them in 3 layers. So that's going to be the next chance. There will be some of the designs are easy to convert to 3 layers, and some are going to be a nightmare. So thank you very much for watching. If you are interested in the series, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section below what you want more of, less of. And of course, if you are a Patreon supporter, you get access to all the glorious blueprints that I'm compiling here for you. And then, yeah, and we'll also be streaming on Twitch once in a while. So check that out on twitch.tv/Nilaus. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.